I'm quite certain that there's divine inspiration waiting for you. Basically, the path of least resistance is the way to go about it. What is most easy? Like, this is really how God works. That's how law of attraction works. As soon as it's available in space time, at the very next availability in space time, God gives it.
Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. Well, after 5 days of high intense emotional tide, Sensei says today peace and balance will be restored. But you must be mindful of your heart to get there. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Wednesday Namaste today. Welcome to Namaste today, a joyful way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, Christopher Witecki. Namaste, my friend, and welcome now to Wednesday. Well, after several days of high emotional tides, I think today we will restore emotional peace and balance. It has certainly been intense through the holiday weekend and the emotional revolution we've gone through, but today I predict your heart will come to a new balance. But before I talk about how, let's take a look at your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Wednesday, July 6, 2016. Well, looking at the 5-day moodcast, tomorrow is going to be cloudy and rather spiritually humid. Friday is going to be sunny and we're going to be hypercritical. And Saturday is sunny with some growing pains. So thank Goddess, today is sunny and loving. I think it's time to restore that self-love in our heart. Now today, the Great Human Walk has reached step 15, Cancer. That means our ruling channel is channel 6. And the ruling planet is Venus, I receive. Now, our emotional focus today is we need to self-love and we need to shine. That's because the moon is in Act 2 of Leo. So we want to see love at work today. And our mental focus is seeking where we belong. And that's where our mind is, where we feel we belong. And that's what I'm going to talk about today in our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to today's tea time. Today's tea time topic is, I'm having a real hard time with my new boundaries. And I thought I'd share. It was actually a very difficult weekend for me over the holiday weekend. I think because of Mars direct in Scorpio, all of our final boundary problems or issues are coming up, and I ended up getting hurt over the weekend pretty hard. And I think because it's in Cancer, I felt it super deep. And I'm still actually self-nurturing myself out of it. So if anyone out there is wounded, this was a deep one. This is a deep one. But I am coming out of it. And I want to share, right away some of my wisdom, because I realize that, we're moving forward now with new boundaries. That's Mars and Scorpio. It's time to really draw the boundaries that we know we need to draw. And that's what Mars at this place is. It's because Saturn's gone through this space. Pluto went through this space in the 80s. Human beings know where the line is now. Okay, I think that's a lot of us why we all don't feel Hillary Clinton is legit. We all feel something is off. I think we feel something's off with Donald Trump. And we all feel where the lines are. And so it's time to draw the line. Now, what I realized is I'm having a boundary problem because of my compassion. And you're maybe the same way, because a lot of my followers are light walkers who give. And I realized kind of where the whole circle conundrum is for me. I grew up watching my mother suffer a lot, and I spent a lot of my time trying to help her not suffer. And she suffered from my father, and my dad was cruel, stuff like that. So I have a tremendous amount of compassion for suffering. I can't stand seeing suffering. I can't stand seeing it actually in films. I really just can't see it. I'm very, very sensitive to it. And what I've realized is that I have built this emotional response system that wants to help everyone else's suffering. But I also noticed that it ends up making me suffer. And I have a lack of compassion for the suffering I put myself through trying to help other people from suffering, if that makes sense. So So now, I'm just, and I think there's a lot I could talk about astrologically here, but I think we're all ready to not suffer. We're ready to not feel bad. I think, I'm turning off the TV. I feel like the terrorists are the media. I don't want to suffer from those images. I don't want to suffer from other things. And I think we had a solar eclipse in Pisces earlier this year that now is opposing where Jupiter is. And what that means is we're about to go through the tough growing spot, I think, the tough emotional growing spot. So what I put out there is, if you're a compassionate person, if you find yourself you're having a hard time managing your boundaries because you are compassionate, then I guess what Sensei is saying is it's time for us to be compassionate to ourselves and ourself first in every moment. Especially as I see the world going down a place I don't like right now, it's like we each as light walkers must be strong and hold the light, and that means we cannot suffer. We cannot, be uncompassionate to ourselves for one moment, because it takes us out of our spiritual being, really. And the last thing I'll share with you that I've come to realize is that when you are completely non-judgmental and totally compassionate to yourself, non-judgmental, compassionate, you're putting yourself in the same perspective as God or Spirit looks at you. So I realized it's like when you don't judge yourself and when you are completely compassionate to yourself, you are literally with God at that point. You are with Spirit, because that's how Spirit is. So that's how we become with Spirit. We must not judge and we must be compassionate. All right, that said, Venus is trining Mars, which means we are opening up now to where these boundaries need to be for ourselves emotionally. It's time to set these boundaries, okay? And now I'm going to go into, take a sip of my tea and go into the Megascope and see what Spirit has to say about this day for you and what's underway. Okay, so this is a very tender spot, really for everyone in the world, and I'm going to be talking about this in the next couple days, but actually Spirit wants me to bring it up right now. The Sun is about to oppose Pluto, and this is a place where your emotions and your feelings, the Sun, will now surpass the evidence you have in reality, Pluto in Capricorn. So it's a time where you have to trust your feelings more than you trust the evidence. You have to trust your feelings more than you trust what you know, or what you can see, I guess is what I'm saying, what seems real. And because Jupiter's in Virgo, we're all creating a new reality right now that'll be complete around September, and we've been working on it for a full year. And at this point, especially at this moment, especially with where the world is, especially with where you are, it's really time to protect how you feel and trust what you feel before anything else. And you can look back in your life and see that your feelings are always right. In fact, it's time to build the rest of this reality, this last lap that we're about to do up until September, with a reality based on trusting your feelings and trusting what you sense first, because you know you, and you know you so well, better than anybody. So with that, let's give you some steps to take away with. Step number 1, think today what love you belong feeling. What kind of love do you belong feeling? Think about what kind of love you belong feeling. Step 2, once you find that feeling, be mindful of it. So memorize that feeling, the one you deserve. Step 3, support your heart's ascension today. That means your heart may open up and open up and open up, and you want to make sure that you're there for yourself and you kind of cradle yourself as you do. We are shifting and preparing for the Sun in Leo. Now, for those who are watching over my personal Sensei service, God is giving us a yod today. That's God giving us the finger. I'm going to walk you through where the yod is and what it means for you. And your eye candy at 3 o'clock, I'm going to outline for you where you are now at a time. In the next 24 hours, you must draw an emotional boundary, and it may be a tug-of-war between two places in your life. Everyone else, I'd like to invite you down to SeriousStory.tv. We have a loving community there. We just fixed the chat room. It was down for like 4 days, so that was a bummer for everyone. Thanks for your patience, everybody. I do appreciate that. And I'm going to extend my reading sale for a little while, because a lot of people said they just need a little more time. Halamia, I understand completely. I have some bookings for the last 2 weeks, so if you're interested, come on down to SeriousJoy.tv. All right, my friends, nurture yourself super well today. Remember, Sensei loves you, and live, love, be.
TV.
Having trouble in your love life? I have the answers. It's called Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. The biggest problem usually is people choose the wrong person. Not anymore. Find out your birthday secrets, available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.